Hey guys, it's Scott here from AnimeBlurayUK and still be unboxing the UK Collector's Edition Blu-ray and DVD combo pack release of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 1 Part 1, which is a bit of a mouthful, but that's pretty much what you can expect from an isekai title. Anyway, to start off with, we have the front of the box, which as you can see has some of the main characters from the second arc of the first season in, such as Rudius and Ares, as well as the actual English logo that's on a piece of paper that slides all the way along the actual art box. On the spine, we have Rudius in his child form and the English logo. On the back of the box, which is actually an info sheet that wraps around the art box that I mentioned earlier, we have sort of details of what's included inside this collector's edition, which is both the series, or the first half of the series, on Blu-ray and DVD, an art book, a cloth poster, a selection of art cards, as well as some on-disc bonus features. Now, as you can see, on the inside of the art box, we have the series on Blu-ray and DVD, which is in a Blu-ray case that has, surprisingly, a carded sleeve. We have the art book, and then we actually have a spacer card, which if you take the spacer card out, it will hold the collector's edition content, which is the cloth poster and art cards. But if you remove the art cards and the cloth poster and the spacer card entirely, it creates space to put the season 1 part 2 Blu-ray in, thus giving you the impression that you've got a complete series collector's box, which is a trend that Funimation, who are now Crunchyroll, tended to do in America and have started to slowly bring that tradition over into the United Kingdom. So before we get into the goodies of the actual item itself, let's take one more tour around the actual box and then we'll slide the goodies out. Woohoo! So as you can see, it's your standard sort of rigid art box. There's no sort of artwork or anything inside. It's just plain white, which is a bit dull, but the outside of the box is quite nice. It has that sturdy feeling that pretty much all rigid chipboard boxes have, but there's no sort of embossing or any additional details or anything like that. First up, we have the spacer card, which you can see had Rudius and Roxy on the front, and inside this you'll find the cloth poster, which has Rudius, Roxy, I think Sylphia as well, and a few other characters from inside the village. I'm not going to open it up here, but I do know that it's quite a large poster and it looks quite nice as well. Next up, we have some rather exotic art cards featuring the main characters, one of each of the female main characters at least. Interesting artwork choices, I would say, but a nice addition, I guess, for those that like it. And then next up, we have the sort of art book, which you can see had Roxy on the back cover and Rudius on the front. And it's more than 60 pages, if I remember. It's about 64, 70 pages, something like that. And it's split into various different sections. First of which is sort of character artwork and visuals and concepts of when they're, designing the actual animation series itself for each of the main characters. And you can sort of see as you go through the book the different stages of the artworks, just when they were first introduced in the series to when they slowly are growing up during the course of the series itself. But it's a bit more detailed than sort of your traditional art book that you would see elsewhere. So there's lots of character artwork, lots of information about said character, such as a bit of a brief bio, the character voice that plays the character in the Japanese version, and then going on to the actual events of the world, such as the locations that they reside within, and how that was sort of created from the initial draft to what it looks like in the anime series. So it's quite a detailed book. And then there's also a lot of character interviews and screenshots, and then towards the end there's like a bonus light novel that's exclusive to this particular set, and then after that there's some sort of mini visuals, some of which you'd have seen elsewhere in the packaging or elsewhere in Japan and so forth. So it's quite an in-depth book, not what I was expecting at all, and it's to be fair one of the highlights other than the actual series of this particular release. Now we get to the actual Blu-ray series itself. So surprisingly, and I mentioned it earlier, it's got a carded sleeve that slides over the top. All of the new Crunchyroll titles released in the UK now do not have the carded sleeves. They still do in America, but for whatever reason, in the UK they do not have them, which is, I don't know if it's, I like it or not. I mean, I prefer them with the carded sleeve because they would have different artwork on both the front of the carded sleeve to the actual sleeve of the Blu-ray case. But I guess it cuts overall costs down, and it's one less thing to get damaged, I guess. As you can see, me trying to open up the Blu-ray without damaging the carded sleeve is always a tricky bit in these unboxing videos, or just in general, as generally whenever I try and rip them off in a hurry, I'll end up damaging a corner or creasing them or whatnot. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, now that I've got the actual Blu-ray set unsealed, let's take a closer look at it. So the front cover has the same artwork that's being used on the actual cloth poster, and on the back we have a synopsis of what you can expect from the series, as well as the list of on-disc features. The back of the box on the carded sleeve is different to what's included on the actual sleeve itself, which is quite a nice touch, but disappointingly the front cover is the same, so I'm not sure why they went down that route, but it's better than nothing, I guess. On the inside we have 4 discs, 2 of which are Blu-ray, 2 of which are DVD, and what they've done here is quite interesting by having the Blu-ray and DVD have different character artworks on every single disc. So the first disc and the second disc for one format is Rudius and Roxy, and then we have Sylphia and Eris for the next set. So that's pretty much what you can expect from the UK Collection Blu-ray and DVD combo pack release of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 1 Part 1, which is available now in the UK.